Welcome back to the channel. This is Simon Cromer, and today we're going to be doing a video on how to properly correct and ceramic coat your outboards on this 39 Invincible. It's all coming to you right now. Welcome back to the channel. I am super excited today to bring this video to you guys. So we are going to be polishing and we are going to be ceramic coating the outboards on this Invincible. So super exciting job. Now I have not made a video like this in the past, so I wanted to bring this video to you guys to share my thoughts and my opinions on how you should be polishing and finishing out your outboards to make them look really nice and really shiny, because I feel like a lot of people they do struggle with this, and I do get questions frequently on how to, work on outboards. I know a lot of people have struggle bringing them back and when they're faded and all this stuff. So we're gonna cover pretty much most situations, and then we're also gonna cover exactly what I'm doing, because today we're working on a 2020 outboard. So there's not a whole lot of in terms of restoration going on. It's more of fine polishing, which is also important for many people. If you're on the east coast of Florida, you're going to be working on a ton of new outboards. So it's still something that you want to know how to do. And it's really important if you're a boat owner, guys. It is so important to keep up on your outboards and keep them protected. It's so easy. If you get a new outboard, simply polish it and ceramic coat it. This will last for a very long time, because gel coat versus paint, ceramic coating does last longer on paint. So just simply polish it out, throw ceramic coating on your paint, and you're gonna keep your outboard in really good condition for quite some time. So that would be my recommendation, guys. Always get your outboards done. If you're hiring a detailer, get your outboards done. I know a lot of people like to skip out on them and say, oh yeah, they look fine, don't worry about them, but I'm telling you, you need to protect your outboards, especially if you have a black outboard. You need to put something on that to protect it, because it's gonna get destroyed by the sun and it will fade over time. So that is my recommendation. Also, the clear coat with all that sun. So down here in Florida, with all this extreme heat, your clear coat is gonna go. It's gonna go if you don't protect it. So that is my little rant before we even get started. So guys, what we're doing today, we're gonna cover the exact process, and I wanna cover the common mistakes that people do make, perhaps detailers or even boat owners who maybe attempt to protect and coat their outboards. So common mistakes, number one is they are using too heavy of a compound. So for example, you know that I usually use Starke Yacht Care. Well, in this specific boat, we're not going to be using Starke Level R because it's too aggressive. Starke Level R is a 600 to 800 grit compound, and all that's going to do to these outboards is it's going to put more scratches into the boat. And if I'm going to use a wool pad, it's going to put a lot of swirls into the paint. So we want to shy away from that. So that's not necessary. We can take that out of the equation. Number two, Elevate. Should I use Elevate on outboards? You can use Elevate, but I don't recommend that you finish with Elevate. Elevate could also put scratches into your paint, so be careful there. In fact, guys, I do not have much knowledge in terms of Starke Ignition, but that is a 1500 grit compound or polish, and that is where you'd want to start. You want to start in the 1500 grit range. So if you're trying to find a product, which I'm going to mention the products I'm using to give you some recommendations, but make sure you're going with a 1500 or finer compound or polish, because that's extremely important when you're finishing out paint, because paint is harder. Paint does show more scratches than gel coat, so that is something to keep in mind. So Starke Level R, probably not a good option on outboards. Starke Elevate, probably not a great option on outboards. Starke Ignition, it's possible. I've never used the product. So what I'm using on this boat is Adams Polishes. So again, Adams Polishes, I will throw that up on the screen for you guys. They have 3 compounds / polishes, and we're using the aggressive one today, which is Adams Compound. It's simply called Adams Compound. It's a blue bottle. They also have Adams One Step Polish. That would be a purple bottle. And then the third step would be Adams polish, and that is simply a white bottle. So the nice thing about Adams polishes is you can end on any of their products because they are diminishing abrasives, and they do finish out and break down into a polish. So you finish with any of these. We are going to be finishing with the blue one today. This is the only step that we're doing. So it is a 1500 grit compound, which is likely to finish down around the 2000 mark. Their one-step polish is around a 2000, which finishes down to 25, and then their one-step polish, or no, they're just simply their white polish is a 2500 polish, which will finish around 3000. So that's good to know, guys. Those are the recommendations for those products. Now you can do any of those based on the condition of your outboard. If your outboard is brand new, you could probably go with just the straight up polish. If your outboard is pretty new, you could go with the one-step polish, or you could go with the blue compound, which is the one that we're using today, which is the one that I recommend. If you're unsure, just go with the 1500 blue compound. This is a 2020 outboard, so it's 2 years old. So this is what we're doing here. So now that we've covered products, let's go ahead and talk about machines. You might be wondering what exactly machine I'm using. Well, I'm using the Rupes, I believe it's the LHR 15. So you have the LHR 15, which is the 5-inch, and then the LHR 21, which is the 6-inch. I have the 5-inch, the smaller one. This is a random orbital, so it's going to do random orbit circle patterns. The harder you press, the less it's going to spin. This is for safety reasons, and same, if you're going to tilt the machine, it is going to stop spinning, and it's just going to simply vibrate. So keep it flat so that you're actually getting some cutting power out of the machine. And if you see here, I'm just kind of moving up and down, side to side. You know, it's pretty much, there's no certain pattern necessarily. Don't go in circles, but side to side, up and down. Work your outboard, get out the scratches that you need to get out. You know, you're not sitting here cutting compound, you're simply polishing the outboard, so there's no specific technique, in my opinion. Just run it over the outboard and get out the scratches. Any scratch that is horizontal will need to be taken out by going vertical. Any scratch that is vertical will be needed to be taken out going horizontal. So if that makes sense. If not, drop in the comments, drop a question, and I'll answer it. But so there's that. Now you might be asking, can I use the Flex 3401 VRG? Can I use the Rupes Milli? Those machines are okay, but they are aggressive on clear coat, so you do have to be careful that you're not sitting there laying into it, because you're gonna thin down the clear coat pretty fast. Those machines are very powerful, and they work really good for gel coat, because gel coat's so porous and so soft, it can handle that. Paint's really hard, it's gonna take off the clear coat pretty fast. So I would recommend that you get an orbital, or if you guys don't want to spend the money, because the Rupes orbital is a little expensive. If you guys want a cheaper option, you can go with just the DA, so a dual action polisher. Any dual action polisher is fine, in my opinion. So, you know, $50, $60 dual action polisher is fine. So if you have one of those, use that. Try not to use the buffer. I don't really think the buffer makes a whole lot of sense. The rotary buffer doesn't make a whole lot of sense for these outboards in this sort of condition. So now onto the pads. So you guys know we're using Adams polishes, we're using the orbital, we're using the random orbital, we're not using a VRG, we're not using the Flex VRG, we're not using a forced action, we're sticking to a orbital or a dual action polisher. So next up is the pad. So what pad are we using? Well, there's two pads I would recommend, and these are both heavier cut pads, so which is fine. You can finish on the heavy cut pad. That is absolutely perfectly okay. So we're using the Adams compound, or the Adams polishes. I'm sorry, I get this confused because the name of the company is Adams Polishes, yet they have a ton of different products. So I like the Adams polishes. They're blue compounding foam pad, so that's what I'm using because it's really, really durable, and I get multiple uses out of this pad. It doesn't break down fast. The other good pad that you could use is the Rupes. Rupes makes a good hard cutting foam pad, and that is also blue. and that is a little cheaper. So if you want a cheaper option, you could go with that as well. That is a nice pad. I've appreciated the pad. It's very durable, and it's very hard. It's going to cut a lot. So going motions up and down, side to side. Now don't be lazy, guys. If you're working on the outboards, don't just do the caps. Get in the water. We're on the float, we're in the water, we're gonna do the sides, we're gonna get all of the paint because that is what the customer is paying for. So we're gonna be getting the whole outboard and all the paint. So I actually didn't show it, I did not show it in this video, but see that black streak running down. So the black streak, so there's water that comes out of the back of the outboard and that's gonna drip down the back, and that left a black stain. So what did we try, or how did we get that out? Because you will see in the ceramic part that stain is removed. Well, it didn't simply come out with buffing or polishing as we're doing here. So what I did is, well, first I tried some acid remover. I thought it was sort of a heavy water spot stain. That did not work. So what we ended up doing is we took some 2000 grit sandpaper and we sanded that black streak off of all the 3 of the outboards. And then we repolished that out to blend it in and make it look shiny and like the rest of the outboard. So that's how we did that, although I did not show that in this video. So again, we're gonna be running this machine up and down, side to side, and you can go over multiple passes. If you've been watching or paying attention to the polishing motions, you probably have a good sense of exactly what I've been doing. But yeah, I think that would be, these are my recommendations for the outboards. I believe we've covered pretty much everything. So don't use marine compounds. Don't use anything lower than 1500 grit on outboards in this sort of condition. Remember, white versus black or white versus a darker color is going to get a lot more sun. It's going to get a lot more damage. It's going to get oxidized a lot faster. So you probably will run into a faded outboard if you're going to have the opportunity to work on a darker of a color of an outboard. So for example, we restored a black outboard about a week or 2 ago, and pretty much we did a full sand. So if your outboard is really bad, guys, you can do a full sand. Start at 2000. I don't recommend anything really lower than that on paint. So start with 2000, sand it down. Then you can actually get Level R. You can do Level R, elevate, Adams polishes. So that is going to take you through a larger process. So if your outboards are bad, I wanted to give some advice in this video in case you don't have the luxury of working on a nice new outboard. You can sand it. So if you see a lot of oxidation, you see a lot of white chalking, not really chalkiness, but your outboard will be faded. If you have a black outboard, it's going to be white in spots. It's going to look cloudy. That means you have to sand it. So you're going to sand with 2000 Level R, elevate, then you're going to want to use Adams polishes and kind of work that down. And you could even run even lower. You could use Adams compound, Adams one step, Adams polish, whatever you want, whatever kind of finish you're looking for. But that would be the steps that you would want to take. So guys, that's a lot to take in. I know it was. If you have questions, drop them in the comments and I will answer you in the comments. So guys, now we're going to move on to the ceramic coating part of this video. So super exciting. You guys know a lot, or a decent amount probably, about ceramic coating, as I've covered in a couple videos in the past. But if not, this is a great video to stick around and watch the ceramic coating process. So yeah, let's get to it. Now on to step 2 of this project, so we finished the polishing and we talked about all that. So we did that, we triple P'd all the outboards, and now we are going to be ceramic coating. So this is the next part of the video that I'm going to show. So ceramic coating, we are using Liquid Thor. So the benefits of Liquid Thor, it is super hydrophobic. It is the most hydrophobic ceramic of the 3 that Starke Yacht Care offers. It has a lot of SiO2, which is extremely slick. So SiO2, this is going to increase the shine. So in terms of your ceramics, this is going to be the best shine, the most hydrophobic coating. Does it last the longest? Well, that is up for debate. That is up to preference and the application. Do I think that it lasts as long as Repel Pro or Liquid Kraken? Probably not, but it is probably close in terms of the durability. I just think that the SiO2 itself, having that much content of SiO2 in a coating like that, is going to give up a little bit of durability, but that is simply my opinion and my thoughts. So in terms of the application, guys, and I really do recommend Liquid Thor on your paint, because it's going to be super hydrophobic. It's going to eliminate some of those water spots, because you're going to have less water on the surface, and it's just super slick, super shiny coating. So, and it has great workability. So Liquid Thor has pretty much been our go-to for a minute now. Unless you have a ton of guys working with you or on your crew, it's hard to run, Starke Repel Pro, because it takes up so much time. So Liquid Thor is super friendly for the boat owner who wants to coat their boat by themselves, or someone who just started their business who just doesn't have a big crew. It's a really easy workability. You get a good amount of time. Like, we can pretty much coat this whole bottom half of this outboard. We wait roughly 5 to 10 minutes max, especially here in Florida, sometimes less, and then we'll wipe it off. So it's just super simple, easy application, and that's just, Liquid Thor has become a favorite for many of the Starke guys out there. Many of the people using Starke. Liquid Thor is just super convenient. It's really a changing, there's not a lot of products like this in the marine industry, so you have to appreciate the ceramic coating. There are a lot more ceramic coatings like Repel Pro that have that quick flash time and that strong durability and bond, but there's not a whole lot like Liquid Thor, so we have really loved and leaned on this product a lot. Anyways, guys, as you can see, we want to cover the whole surface. So in terms of technique, I do like the smaller sponge pad. So this is the smaller sponge pad. It allows you to be more detailed, and pretty much ensure that you're gonna get everything. So we just do one coat. So we triple P and we do one good coat, make sure we're not missing any spots, and that is what we've been doing recently. And I do like that system. With the triple P, you're gonna restore some of those, I don't think it's oils, but you're gonna restore a lot of shine in the boat, which is gonna help, I think, from oxidation coming up underneath your coating. So you're kind of restoring the paint or the gel coat, whatever you're working on, with triple P. And then when you put the coating and the ceramic coating on top of that, yes, it probably does help with the bonding, but I think you're getting those, I want to say oils, but I'm not sure that it is oils. You're getting that shine on the boat, which is going to help protect it from oxidation as well. So that is my idea. That is my opinion on that. So I try to base this off of the knowledge that I know and the real life experience application in the industry. So Jaden here is one of our new guys we just brought on. Amazing, does amazing work, knows a lot, very smart, quick learner. He's putting the ceramic on for me, so it's very helpful as I try to manage doing this on this raft, which is not too difficult, but a little harder than if I were up on the boat on the stable surface. So you can see we're just going side to side, up and down. Now I do like to do both. I like to go up and down, side to side, to make sure that I cover the entire part of the boat. So ceramic coating, in my opinion, it's really fun. It's like you're filling in a shape. You can do outline the perimeter, fill in the shape with the coating. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy coating days, and I just enjoy seeing the results. It's really pretty simple, guys. Don't be scared of the ceramic. Make sure you have enough on. You will use, with Liquid Thor, I've noticed, you will use a good amount of product pretty fast. That's just how it is. You will save a little product on Kraken or Repel Pro for whatever reason, I don't know. But Liquid Thor, you can put that on. You want to put it on, make sure you have enough on, is all I'm saying. Make sure you put a good coat on. And that's really with all the ceramics. Make sure you get a good coat on. If you go super thin, you're compromising. Well, did you actually coat that spot? Is the bonding gonna actually hold up the way it should? So make sure you have enough. And then also, if you're gonna put on super light, you're also gonna affect, I think, the bonding, the way it bonds and the way it wipes off is going to be a little more difficult. So now you don't want to, I would say you want the medium, because too much ceramic coating is bad and too little is too bad. So find a happy medium. But definitely don't go too light. So giving the applicator back to Jaden, gonna wait and gonna wipe off this section. So Wiping off is just simply a 2-towel method. Well, I'm actually not gonna wipe off yet. I'm gonna continue. So the wipe off process for ceramic coating is I do a 2-towel method, which a lot of people would suggest and recommend. So you're gonna basically take off the ceramic with 1 towel. You're gonna kind of move the ceramic around, get most of the excess coating off the boat, and then you're gonna take your secondary towel. You're gonna take off, it's gonna be your finishing towel. So anything that you perhaps missed with that first towel, because as that first towel builds up with a little bit of ceramic as you continue to coat your boat, it will build up in that towel, and you're gonna leave a little bit of residue behind. So that second towel is gonna take off the rest of that residue and ensure that you're not leaving any ceramic on the boat, because you will be able to tell if you missed a spot of ceramic. So it's important to really, ceramic coating, if you're the person that wants to do ceramic coating on your boat, it's important to be meticulous and to be really detailed and pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure the prep is right. Make sure everything is clean and ready to go, because guys, if you don't have a clean surface, you put the coating on, you wipe it off, you let it cure, it's not gonna water bead because the surface had nothing to bond to. Ceramic coating needs a fresh, clean surface to bond to. It cannot bond to oxidation, guys. It cannot bond to oxidation, especially for a long amount of time. You're gonna notice right away that the water beading is just simply not the same. And that is from experience. So I do know that for sure. So wiping off here, like I said, with the first towel, wiping off the excess. Not a whole lot of magic to it. Just wipe it off. You don't have to go super, you don't want to press that towel super tight. You're not trying to it's not like you're scrubbing off a stain off of your vinyl. You're not pressing that towel so tight onto the paint or the gel coat, whatever you're working on. You're just simply taking it off, wiping it off, as if you're cleaning glass or something. So you're just wiping it off. Now we're gonna hop up here. So I want to get a little bit at the bottom. Now we're gonna hop up on the transom. We're gonna get the top part. So again, guys, just gonna pour some ceramic on, and once you have that applicator primed, so what primed is once you initially wet your applicator, and you want to use a new applicator, never reuse the applicator. You can reuse the other side, but don't reuse what you already ceramic with. So if I were gonna ceramic 2 days in a row, once I use that one side of that applicator, it cannot be used again, because it's going to be really hard, and the fibers are going to be really hard, and it's just, you're going to notice you're not going to be able to coat really well with it. So you're going to want to use the soft side. Always use a fresh applicator. Always you always should throw out that towel. So that initial towel that you're wiping off the ceramic with, once you're done coating for that day, that towel can be tossed. Now I've noticed that I can usually use that second towel, depending on the quality of the towel, actually makes a big difference. And actually, so the towel that I recommend is, you can go on Amazon and you can get these blue towels, these blue micro plush. You can go on marinedetailsupply.com, get these blue plush towels, which are a little expensive, but they are pretty high quality. And then my favorite towel, it is very expensive. I think it's $8 or $10 per microfiber, is the Adams Gray Plush Microfiber. This towel is amazing. I use this towel over and over. I use it as my secondary wipe off towel, and I'm usually able to get a few days of coating out of this towel before it even hardens whatsoever at all. So it's just an amazing towel. So I hope this all makes sense. But once you primed your applicator, so you're gonna want to prime your applicator with about 20 to 30 drops of ceramic, and then once you move forward, you just got to do 5 to 10 moving forward. So you guys will notice if you've coated before, or once you do start coating, or if you're watching this video to learn how to coat or thinking about coating your boat, now that you've watched the video, you'll kind of get a feel, and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about, as the applicator will hold a lot of ceramic as you continue to use it. So guys, I probably will be wrapping up this video pretty shortly. So this is my take on ceramic coating. I've done so many of these jobs, so if you watch some of my past videos, I may not have as much information as I do now. In terms of talking about the ceramic, I pretty much can talk about any of the 3 ceramics. I've used them all multiple times. I always do Repel Pro on non-skid, been sticking with Liquid Thor on paints and gel coat recently because of the easy application. And my process again is one step, triple P, one coating. So I don't waste my time with two coats. Is it beneficial? I'm sure it does last a little longer. I'm sure, I don't know because I don't want to throw out a number just to throw out a number, but I would say you might get like a month or two or a little longer out of your coating if you're gonna put on two coats. But is it worth the time? I mean, you're literally doubling the time. Now, if you have the time and the budget to do all this, then I think it's great to do two coats. If you're that boat owner who wants to do the absolute best on their boat, or a client who just wants to pay, to have their boat just looking amazing and the best in terms of protection, then do the two coats. But in my opinion, I don't know yet that it really makes the world difference. But I don't wanna push my too much of my philosophy of this topic on you guys. You guys do what you feel is right. This is just what I do. That's all. I'm just sharing what I do and then what we've been doing, me and my business partner, for the terms of this time here in Cape Coral. So yeah, so we're gonna be wrapping up the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, that's okay too. But if you did enjoy the video, leave a like, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts, or let me know if you have any questions. With that said, guys, if you have not hit the subscribe button, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button now. And guys, be sure to share this, because the more people we reach, the faster we can grow this channel and the more people we can help. My thing is I'm bringing practical, real experience information to the YouTube world and to all the social media platforms that I'm on to help people. So I know my content is a little more specialized. You kind of have to have a decent base of understanding to maybe comprehend or understand the videos that I make, but we want to make sure people are using good products. So my belief is good products makes a huge difference. So top quality products, proper application, proper prep. We don't take shortcuts. We don't make excuses here. So guys, share the video, get this out to more people. And with that said, guys, I will see you on the next video. Peace out.